Hey there, Stationery Squad and Inky Enthusiast. It's Kristen here, and it's a new month, and we are ready to break in some new pens. I love a new month. I love making choices. I've got a little bit of a challenge to myself, and I'm thinking maybe I'll turn it into a challenge for everybody, but I didn't get that done in time for this one. But it's a little bit of a rainy day here, but if I don't record this video today, who knows when it will get done, because May is a busy, busy month. But before we jump into May, let's just take a quick look back at April. And I had a couple of shining stars. They were the Laravel and Androlium Lunar Moth. I continue to be impressed with this pen, and the nib is just so smooth and wonderful. So shining star there. And I know I said it in the video, I personally underrate the Lamy 2K, and it is just a fabulous, or Lamy 2000, however you want to say it. I liked it so much this month that I considered changing it out and it being my platinum carbon black instead of the platinum 3776. I haven't gone all the way there yet, but I'm still thinking about that. I just definitely feel like I need to use that one more. The misses for me were the M2 and Winter Sunrise. The pink M2 that I had, I just don't think it has a good seal, and so then the Winter Sunrise was dark almost every time I wrote it, and that's disappointing because my brass M2 is one of my favorites. The TWSBI Iris could not handle the Van Diemen's Mermaid Shimmer. I don't know if you remember how much shimmer it is putting out. That shimmer clogged the feed, as we thought it would, pretty regularly. I ended up switching that ink to the Benu Edelweiss, and it handled it pretty well, but there's still a lot of shimmer in the feed. And yeah, okay. Surprises. I really enjoyed the birthday mix I made with Brilliant Ink and Brilliant Ink. Really enjoyed the birthday mix that I made, the Brilliant Mint and Mind Control. And I did pick up the at some point in the month, and I totally forgot about it when I was recording I haven't bought new pens in a while. But this is a Perkio, a Kaweco Perkio. I think it goes in like the realm of a Preppy or Kakuno, so I don't think it should count towards the overall pen count. And I put in Lennon Toolbar, had a sample of Yen Run from my a pen friend, and I really enjoyed this combo. There's a little bit left in this one. All the March rollovers are empty, so there's a little bit left in this one. There's a little bit of ink left in the new, but that didn't even get started till mid-month. And just a little bit, probably the most I have left over is the TWSBI Serpentine and Old Gold Green. Nothing wrong with it. I just had really great choices. So I'd inked up 8 pens, and I'd say I have 2.5 kind of rolling over. Let's see, maybe now that I'm talking about it, how is this? It might be empty. Oh yeah, that one is empty. Okay. So 1.5. And I think the Perkio is getting close too. So that was a good total for me. All right. My average pen and ink score was a 7. The highest was a 9. And the lowest was a 6. If you're wondering how I get to those numbers, pretty subjective, but somewhere along the way of our video, and if I remember, I'll put it in. Okay. So let's jump ahead to May. Now, if you watched my last video, you know I have a few new pens to play with, and I'm also challenging myself to meet a few other criteria each month. And so that is, I need to have a pen that I haven't, in addition to new pens, if I have any, I I also have to ink up a pen I haven't used in a year or more. I need to have a few different nib sizes or grinds, at least a few different companies. That one's not hard. And then when it comes to the inks, I'm going to challenge myself to use up a sample and to have at least 2 ink vent colors in the mix, or an ink vent swap or something like that. So that's what we're doing. I really, really loved my April setup. And so we're going to do the same with the nibs and splotches, and then I'll do a Zentangle tutorial. All right. I'm still not confident in my pen drawing, so I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there's some pencil drawings here. I'm just going to erase them lightly. So, okay, let's start with my newest, well, because 2 came within a day of each other, so hard to say. New acquisition video on these first couple of pens. That's my most recent video. It'll be there at the end. It'll be linked down below. This is the Pelikan M600 in white and rose gold. And I have inked it up with Wearingeul's White Rabbit. I think this is going to look more like a duck, but you know, I know what it means. Got to circle around the duck. I am really liking the way that the ink flows out of this one. I feel like it's a fairly dry ink, but it's just coming out, and we're seeing some of the cool shading that's in this ink. I also forgot to say what swatch tool. So we're using a Speedball B0 nib. I don't remember exactly how I did this last time. Okay. The next pen in rotation, it hasn't been a year. I think the last one was October. This is the Penlux Delgado in Snowflake. And I pulled it out because I really wanted to compare it to the Esterbrook. They have a very similar shape and look, and I would not be surprised if the same third-party manufacturer makes both of these. Are very similar, so I'm interested to see how they compare in writing. In the Penlux Delgado, we have Wearinguel Daddy Long Legs. This one is a little bit of a flexi. It's a Yovos flexi, so not a lot more, not a whole lot of flex, but I'd say of my steel flex, not flex, this is the softest, bounciest of them. You can see there's some really nice line variation in that one if I press hard enough. This is a heavy shimmer one. So we're going to also see how that flex nib does with shimmer, because I don't remember if I've had a shimmer ink in this one before. Maybe I put moon dust in there. No, if Daddy Longlegs is a new ink or it's just new to me. There isn't a new local shop, and they have a Korean connection, so they're getting in Wearinguel and Dominant Industry inks in. And so I picked this one up there, and I'm really, really liking it. It's that Nice cherry blossom. Let's do the Esterbrook SD. Next, this is the re-released Katchufugetsu flower pen from Esterbrook and Bungo Box. One difference between this and the Penlux is that this is a cartridge converter and the Penlux is a piston filler. Nibs are about the same size, same shape. We just got the cutouts, slightly wider grip section, slightly longer shape in the Penlux. But you also can see how the designs are similar. I'm not even going to attempt to do the letters because goodness knows if I messed it up, something might inadvertently say something that I don't intend to say. Yes, I did have to pull the box out to remember how to spell, and I just want to do a shout out to Inksplat Amanda because she picked up, and maybe I'm not following along close enough in Pen World, but we had the flowers released in 2024, and then we had the Kingfisher in 2025. This is the wind and the moon, so flower. So these are perhaps hints to more that are coming along in this collection. I did not buy the Kingfisher. It's gorgeous, and now I'm like, oh, maybe I need that too. Thanks, Amanda. Because I never thought I needed it. Just put that idea in my head, and my little collectionist self. This is a very special ink. This came from bookish artist Mandy in our Inkmas swap, and it is her collab or custom mix with Kiwi inks that she calls Bunny Pink. And I just love it. Just lovely pink, some brown undertones, and I think it's a pink shimmer too, if I'm not mistaken. Next, I put the love letter back in the rotation, the Leonardo love letter from Julia here. The ink is my kilo sample for this month, and it is Sense and Sensibility. And I thought, Sense and Sensibility and love letter go along pretty well. From a thematic standpoint. Leonardo wings, and then we have a sunburst. For the design. Maybe I need to, this is Wearingeul Sense and Sensibility. Maybe I need to put in a challenge of mixing up ink brands a little bit more. I'm going to have to express a little bit. Like I said, this was my sample killer. Maybe I'll remember. Toss the last little bits out until I do the swatch. Maybe. This is a cool multi-shading green. I have a video with several other colors like it. Not everybody liked that one because didn't like my theme, but oh well, you know, you live and learn. Okay. Oh. Next up, I should have been a clue, is the Asvine C80. Another recent acquisition that's in the last video I just did. It is special because of its giant nib. Shauna Serial Nana commented she wished that she got this one as stub, and she's totally onto something. I wish I would have too, because that would make sense for this giant thing. And in it is Diamine Bubbly from the Ink Vent. This one is a lot more like greeny gold than I remember. And I actually think it's kind of a nice, not exact match, but pretty close to this Hobonichi color, or the Hobonichi color of the month, which I wasn't expecting at all. I was going to put it there for you. I'm so not in the Hobonichi world. I got this because I really like the cover that I moved to my Sterling ink. And I didn't know that matching your ink color for the people that do use the Hobonichis for journaling is a whole thing. And then I've gone down the rabbit hole and I'm like, oh, do I need to join these folks? But I don't know. Okay, what do we have next? We've got 2 more pens left. This one. All right. For the pen that hasn't been inked up in a year, I'm pulling in the Labon 325. I always want to call it the 365, but no. It's a 325. It's got this beautiful resin from Jonathan Brooks here in the body. And I thought kind of also was a nice match to the Asvine in terms of this striation ivory look. I love the way the pen writes. I don't like the way the thickness of this cap. So that's what keeps it on a shelf and not in rotation often. Definitely gonna have to add a mix-up ink brands to this one because apparently this is the Wearinguel month. Everything but 2 are Wearinguels. Oh my goodness. Oh well, it's good ink. All right, the last pen is the Sailor Pro Gear in Every Rose Has Its Thorn. So I got this one out specifically because I want to kind of do a side-by-side comparison. They reminded me a lot of each other when I was doing the first inking for the Pelikan. And a lot of people have, and rightly so, been fussing about the price increase in the Sailors. Really all of the Japanese pens. When I pull these out and I'm thinking about the prices, this one at its full price, not in the Atlas last chance that I got it on, is between $300 and $400 more than this pen at its new high price. So are we giving the Japanese makers too much flack? Have they just been spoiling us all along? I don't know. I'm going to test them out and see. This is a 21 karat nib. This is a 14 karat nib, by the way. So right off the bat, higher quality there. I love this pen. It has been my top pen for quite some time. Uh-oh, messed it up. Oh well. Yep. Yep. It is another Wearingeul ink. See, I got a problem this month. This one is also from Bookish Artist Mandy. I'm going to work on some Zentangles while those dry. All right, we're back for the Zentangle action. This pattern I found on Artistic Sima Instagram. She calls it Geometric Fusion number 36. So I'm just going to start with drawing my main grid. I've got these mapped out to 10 by 10 squares, and the design will be done by 9 by 9. Okay, so we got the basics lined out. So the outer box is a 10 by 10, and then and then an inner box is 8 by 8, and then each of these 4 boxes is 4 by 4. So to start this drawing, I'm going to come in and I'm going to look for 2 up and 2 over to the center of each design and make a little bracket. Oops, that one already I messed up. Just pretend it's not there. Probably should have practiced these. Okay, and then from the brackets, I'm going to go up 1 into the diagonal, and to help. And then on the other side, I'm going to go over into the diagonal. So I'm kind of making a W with wings. Up 1, over, diagonal. All right. Now, we're going to make some petals. This is going to turn into kind of a floral shape. So I'm going to make from this inner part of my W, from the apex of my W here, I'm going to draw in towards the center at a diagonal and make that as even as possible on all 4 my squares. You start to see that petal take shape. And then I'm going to fill in those shapes that I just drew in. Fill them in solid. This white rabbit's flowing so nicely in the Pelikan. All right. So I've got that part. Now I'm going to make some little buds with this. So I'm going to come and kind of in the center of each of these petals that are not filled in, I'm going to draw a line. Well, I'm going to draw a little bud shape and then a line to the center. Bud shape, line to the center. This is where it's helpful. If we were on a tile, I would tell you to turn the tile. Bud shape. Okay. Yeah. We are going to do a little bit of edge work, kind of similar things here. And we're going to mimic this first L that we have here in the upper corners. So essentially we're going to bracket again. One up and one. And one from the diagonal. And then we're going to diagonal that to the center. Or draw to the outer corners. I don't think I said that very clear. So from each of the brackets, you'll draw to the corner. We're going to fill those in. And then we're going to do our bud shapes again. We'll draw it to the circle. Or to the circle, to the corner. And there we go. There's our pattern. I'm going to go ahead and fill the outer part in. I'm still deciding whether I want to use this pen posted or not. So I'm going to try it for this part. I'm going to go through and finish out the rest of the Zentangles. And then I will come back and show you everything, do a recap of all of them. All right, it's a couple days later. The rain has gone. The sun has come out. Apparently the weather doesn't want to support my YouTube ventures, but we're going to roll with it because we're just going to do some close-ups and because May is crazy and I only have so much time to film videos. And yeah, so here's the Zentangle that I did, and it's just like original square one block formula. I really had a great time with it, and I wanted to see what it looked like in kind of all together in two different sizes. Just want to show you. So this is it's side by side, a 6x6 grid, and this is with the Alt Gold Rune, which was still inked in my TWSBI from the previous month, and the Diamine Bubbly. So we got a little shimmer coming out in the Bubbly. And then I wanted to see what it looked like in an even bigger, size. Maybe I won't hold it up. Maybe I'll just zoom you in here. Ah, too far. Better? Maybe better? I don't know. Okay, so this one is double size. So each square is 8x8. Making 4 big designs. So, and I think that one left a lot of space. So I went ahead and did an aura to add in things. You see, this pattern just tripped me up a few times. Even though I had some tricks, I just get confused where to start the squares for the petals. It's all good. All right. So let's just take a look and recap what we've got in the pens this month. So we have our Pelikan M600 with the Wearingeul White Rabbit. This ink is flowing so well in this pen. I just am totally thrilled with it. And we're seeing some of the cool shading. It's great. And then we have the Penlux Delgado Snowflake with Wearinguel Daddy Longlegs. There's the Zentangle, and there's our Swatch. Esterbrook, not disappointing. Again, is handling the shimmer in this Bookish Artist Mandy Bunny Pink so well. So Zentangle and our swatch. The Leonardo of the month has Sense and Sensibility. We're seeing, it's nice to see the shading didn't necessarily come in a whole lot doing the tangle except in the fill-in parts. So didn't see, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of the pink undertones that we saw in the swatch in the writing, but we are getting some shading. And then next we have the Diamine Bubbly. It's the Zentangle and our swatch. And then we've got the Labon and the Lost. Again, not a whole lot of shading in the writing that we saw in the swatch. Diamine Bubbly is so wet that I actually, when I was doing the Zentangle, I got it like on my arm way down here. Can't even see that on camera, like way here. And it ended, that's what happened in this part. So the, all right, Labon, look at that. It's just such a good match for the resin in this Glacier Labon. I love it. Last, definitely not least, an all-star pen if there ever was one. This is a great combo. This is the Night Colored Grape, and this Iridescent Shimmer is coming out so well. Now this great medium nib, or medium fine even, I think it is. I can never remember between my sailors. But, and then there it is in that swatch. Definitely getting inspiration for next month. In my book club, we have a monthly book bingo of like 9 kind of categories or things to do, and people earn points. So I'm thinking of taking that and doing a currently ink challenge for myself and anybody that wants to play along. So I'm keep an eye out for that kind of later in the month. Maybe we can start a new thing together. All right. Until next time, keep ink on your fingers. I don't have any now because I haven't really been playing this morning yet, just recording this part. And yeah, keep ink on your fingers and keep being awesome. Bye for now.